Good afternoon. Today, you'll be learning about time signatures. After this lesson, you will be able to distinguish between simple and compound time, identify the number of beats per measure, identify the beat unit, and you will be able to perform rhythmic units. Now I'm going to give you each some definitions. If you need time to write these down, please just pause the video and do so. So what is a time signature? Time signatures indicate metrical organization of a composition. So they tell you how many beats per measure there are. Now there's two types of time signatures: simple and compound. In simple, the upper number is 3 or it's not divisible by 3. Example, 4, 4. In a compound time signature, the upper number is divisible by 3 except for 3. Example, 6, 8. In your notes, write down the following examples and say if they're simple or compound. For number 1, you should have gotten simple because it's not divisible by 3. Number 2, compound, because 9 is divisible by 3. Number 3 is also compound. Number 4 is simple. Remember, the definition of compound is divisible by 3 except for 3. So if 3 is your upper number, then it is going to be simple. Number 5, simple. 6, simple. 7, compound. And number 8 is simple. Now that you understand how to distinguish if a time signature is compound or simple, we can figure out the number of beats per measure. In simple time, the upper number shows the number of beats per measure directly. So, for 4, the upper number is 4 in simple time. Therefore, there is 4 beats per measure. In compound time, you must divide the upper number by 3 to get the number of beats per measure. So in 6, 8, you take the upper number 6 divided by 3 to get 2, and there's 2 beats per measure. In your notebook, write down the following examples and answer them. How many beats per measure? The first thing to remember when solving these types of answers is it simple or compound? Remember, if it's compound, it will be divisible by 3, and we have to divide the top number by 3 to get the number of beats per measure. So in number 1, 12, 8. 12 is divisible by 3. Therefore, there are 4 beats per measure. Number 2, 2, 4. 2, 4 is simple, and therefore the top number directly gives us the number of beats per measure, which is 2. Number 3, remember, compound time is divisible by 3 except for 3. Therefore, this is simple, and the upper number is directly the number of beats per measure. Number 4, also simple, 5 beats per measure. Number 5, 9, 2. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Number 6, you can see as in number 1, 12. The bottom number doesn't matter. Therefore, there's 4 beats per measure. Number 7, 6, 16. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And number 8 is simple, so there's just 2 beats per measure. Now comes the tricky stuff. Identifying the beat unit. So we talked about how many beats per measure, but what type of note gets the beat? In simple time, the beat unit is given to you directly by the bottom number. So if there's a 4 on the bottom, then it's going to be quarter notes. If there's an 8, an eighth note, a 1, a whole note, 2, a half note, and 16, a 16th note. In compound time, the beat unit is 3 times the value of the bottom number. So for example, in 6, 4, in simple time, the 4 would mean a quarter note. But now you have 3 quarter notes, which will equal a dotted half note. And remember that the dot after a note equals half the value of the note before. So, for example, in the dotted half note, the dot is going to equal 1/2 the value. So half of a half note is a quarter note. Therefore, you have a half note plus 1/4 note, which equals 3 beats. And you have 3/4 notes as your beat unit. For 6/16, you have 3/16 notes, which equals a dotted eighth note. And for 6/8, you have 3/8 notes, which equals a dotted quarter note. Write down the following examples in your notes and then identify the beat unit. Number 1, 3/4. 3/4 is simple, therefore the bottom number directly tells us the beat unit. So the beat unit, therefore, is a quarter note. Number 2, 9/8 is compound. So therefore we have to take the bottom number, which would be an eighth note, times 3. So 3/8 notes equal a dotted quarter note. Number 2, 6/2, also compound. So 3 half notes equals a dotted whole note. Number 4, 2/2, simple. Therefore, a half note is our beat unit. Number 5, 12/16, compound. Therefore, 3/16 notes equal our beat unit. So our beat unit is a dotted eighth note. Number 6, 2/4, just like number 1, beat unit is going to be a quarter note. Number 7, 4/8. Since it's simple, our unit is just going to be an eighth note. And number 8, remember, if the upper number is 3, it's still simple, and therefore our beat unit is just a 16th note. So part of your homework assignment tomorrow is to perform 2 rhythms, one in simple time and one in compound time. So I'm going to give you the speech cues you need, and this is going to require some thinking on your part. You guys are more advanced students, so you know that 2 eighth notes equal 1/4 note and 4/16 notes equal 1/4 note. So this is going to take some thinking from you guys, but I know that you all can do it. So 3/4 is simple. So you're going to tap the beat. There's 3 beats per measure. So this would go ta 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 ta, tiki tiki ta 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 ta. So for the 16th notes, you're going to use a speech cue. The second example is a little more complicated because it is in compound time. So that's why we're learning to do this. That way you know the beat unit and what types of rhythms get the beats. So it's in 12/8. We know that there's 4 beats per measure. 3 eighth notes get the beat. So dotted quarter note gets a beat. 3 eighth notes gets a beat. And half of 3 eighth notes is 6/16 notes. So this rhythm will sound like this. Ta 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 ta, tiki 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 ta. Tomorrow in class, we will be reviewing this as well as doing a couple of worksheets so that you all understand better. Please make sure to have the worksheet that I gave you today in class, have that done for tomorrow, have the rhythms practiced, and any questions you have, I will answer them tomorrow in class. Have a great night.